had a number of people ask me what I am doing today, and whenever I try to explain it, no one understands. So I thought I would make a video to send to all these people, and also maybe because this is something that could help you too if you run a business. Okay, so the bottom line is this morning I got up and I realized that I haven't responded to any emails in my business all week because Monday was a holiday and I really liked that. And then Tuesday, there was only like a couple emails to respond to. And then yesterday, there were a couple more. And then I got up this morning and I was like, oh, I have to respond to like 15 emails. I really don't want to. And this actually happens to me an awful lot. So I was like, how am I going to get the ball moving? So I respond to emails the way I'm supposed to, because the unfortunate part in this situation is I'm the boss. If I don't respond to the emails, I don't get new business. I don't keep working in my, all that sort of jazz. So it's just really important that somebody is responsible for ensuring that the emails are responded to properly. So I'm also an AI specialist, right? So I thought, let's try and figure out a way where I can use all these powerful tools to help me get this job done. So this morning when I woke up, I thought, why do I not get GPT-4 to draft replies to my email? Because the truth is does everything else for me. All right, so I was like, that sounds like a good experiment. Let's give this a shot. So the tools that I'm using are Make.com, which is an automation tool. If you're a client of mine, I've used it probably on your business, or Zapier. Either one would work in this, depending on which one you have a subscription to. I'm using a Google Sheets. Right now, I have a GPT-4 API key, which I will say I think is not open to the general public yet, but it will be really, really soon. And then I also created a spreadsheet. And then I got GPT-4 to write me a Google app script that will draft a reply. So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through this, show you what the response is. It's pretty cool, and it only really cost me about 5 cents per email to reply to. So we're going to start in Integromat, or in Make.com. In Make, I am opening up a module that watches my business emails, and every 15 minutes it's going to look for a new email. If there is a new email, it is going to send the body of that email to OpenAI, which is where we get Chat GPT-4. Okay, and here's the prompt. And what's really cool about this prompt is I literally drafted it with GPT-4. Like, I went to GPT-4 and I was like, listen, this is what I want to do. Can you help me write a prompt that would do this? And then, we would test it a couple times and just sort of tweak the prompt. All right. Some of it sounds horrible, but it's kind of necessary when you're doing this sort of thing. So I said, instructions are, I said, you are me, you're Courtney Lyons, and you're the owner. And I want you to draft a friendly and professional email body response to the following email using a grade 4 reading level. Now, this is why I'm saying, it's not like I feel like my customers are really stupid and they need me to dumb things down for them. But sometimes when I find artificial intelligence is drafting an email, it tends to almost feel unreal or alienated because it's using language nuances that we wouldn't use in casual conversation. Anyone knows anything about me and my brand, we're all about being accessible, we're all about being friendly, we're all about being relatable. So I definitely wouldn't want my emails to be like, dear so-and-so, because majority of my emails start with like, hey or hi. And that's, I think, one of the appeals of working with me is that you get that sort of casual vibe, so that things never seem extremely technical or out of your league. Okay, so then I say use the provided business information, which I'm going to share below because if you guys want to replicate this, I'm including a link to the automation templates, but you have to have your own OpenAI API key. Okay, so I say wait until you're at a grade 4 reading level. And then I say I'm going to give you some business information to address any concerns mentioned in the email. And then here I say it again because, to be honest, it wasn't coming out in the first few times. I say assess the content of the email and make the email response relatable. The owner is passionate about automation. So anyone who's worked with me knows that I work with companies all around the world, and what I get really excited about is the geeky part of it, the automations, the building of stuff like that. That's what keeps me going in this business. So I'm going to get excited when I'm on calls with people and they're like, oh, can you automate this? And I'm like, oh, hold my beer, I can. And I don't even drink beer. So I wanted that vibe to come across in the emails that I write because it would if I was writing the emails. Okay, so then I also put that I'm going to have a link to book my appointment if it's relevant. And I had to put an extra no subject line is required in this reply because it just wasn't understanding it from all the above. And you'll see in some of the tests I did, it sucked. Okay, so then this is the information I'm feeding through to the email. And then I actually haven't updated this with my actual information yet, mainly because I wanted to do this video. But here is where I would feed it relevant information about my business. And I actually think we have enough tokens and enough space for me to say something like my, mission statement, just because that might help it reply more like me if it knows what I'm all about, right? Okay, but I will do that later. And we're just going to hit OK and keep going by. So after it creates a reply to the email, then we're going to go over to Google Sheets and we're going to add a row. Now, the reason I'm doing this is if you look in the Gmail module at make.com, I can create a draft or I can send an email, but I actually don't have an ability to reply to an email thread. And for all of us who love Gmail and we love email threads, it's really nice when it groups it all together so it's not like cluttering your email box. I wouldn't want all my responses to come through as like new drafts because that could get annoying. So instead, what I did was I had all of the responses saved to a Google Sheets row, and then ChatGPT and I this morning wrote a Google App script. I don't know where is that, but we wrote a Google App script somewhere in here. Maybe it was in a different ChatGPT. Sometimes I max out. But yeah, we wrote a Google App script, and we wanted it to basically save every time there's a new row added by the automation at Make. We wanted it to take the first column, which would be the email ID, and then the reply, which would be in column G, and to upload it as a draft reply in my Gmail, and then mention what the status is in column H. Okay, so here is the spreadsheet then. So as you'll see, we've got email ID is coming in here, the date the email was received, who the email was received from, which was also me, which was probably a little confusing to ChatGPT, but it did okay. The sender email, which is my personal thing, and then what the subject to the email was, and the body to the email. Okay, so then you'll notice the very first reply, and we're gonna just make it super big here. So the first reply was really formal. It was not including the recipient's name from what I had given it. It was including a subject, which it didn't need, and it got confused about what my email address was, okay? So I went back and I was like, that's cool, but we're gonna have to make some changes. So at this point, I hadn't said what the reading level was. So I went through here and I said, okay, can you change it to a grade 7 reading level? And I was wondering if that was gonna be a quick fix. And it was definitely better. but it was missing something. The truth was, if I was going to write that email, it wouldn't look anything like that. It was just too cold. So then that's when I gave it the prompt that we went through earlier. And I said, grade 4 reading level, be extremely relatable. And I am passionate about automation, which are all very true. Well, I mean, the grade 4 reading level, not, but I did want to be very relatable. So then it provided this response. Hey there. I'm so glad you're interested in automating your retail business. I'm Courtney Lyons, the owner, and I love automation. I'd be more than happy to help you with your business. Here are some ways we can automate your retail store. Inventory management. We'll set up a system that keeps track of your stock. Point of sale system. We'll make it easier to handle sales, returns, and customer info. Online sales. We can help you create a website to sell your products online so that you can reach more customers. All of this sounds amazing, right? Each retail store is unique, so I'd love to learn more about your business and find the best ways to help you automate. If you want to talk more, let's set up a meeting. You can schedule an appointment with me using this link. Boop. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need more information. Thank you for thinking of that Zap Girl for your automation needs. Best regards, Courtney. So the only thing is, I would definitely not just say hi there. I'd include the person's name because, that seems polite and nice. Everyone likes their name. But other than that, that is definitely where I would go with an email, because I wouldn't want to give out specific information on what I can do based on one sentence from an email. I want to get on a call. I want to find out the exact needs and then say, oh, here's the exact solution I have for the problem that you're experiencing. So anyways, by the third time was the charm for me, and that's the prompt. I will keep it going. And actually, I'm just going to go through. So now if I go to my email address box, which I'm not doing because it would be too hard to block out all the client stuff I've got going on in there. But if I go to my email inbox, what I should see is this as a response to the email that I've received. So I just need to go to my drafts, and if I like it, I can hit send. However, I have to say, what I am going to do is I am going to continue writing this Google app script that I started with, and I'm going to ask GPT-4 if it could write another little part that says, if there's a check mark in column I under send the email, the draft that you create, and then add the date you send it and time you send it in column J. Because that means then what I'm really having to do, even less clicks than going to the draft in Gmail, is I have to open up this spreadsheet, which, or have it open at some points, go through this list, make sure the reply looks good compared to what the email's been received, and then check send, and then know that within, 15 minutes or so that piece of software, that code that I put into Google App Script is going to activate and send the email for me. Okay. So anyway, for all of those people who are asking, that is what I was up to